Oh hey, Mike, Sinistermoon, what's going on, man?
Oh, hey, random Nintendo fanboy, what's going on, man?
Did you hear that Sony is gonna put out a mini PS1? All they did was copy Nintendo. Nintendo does everything first. They're the best.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Mike, aka Sinistermoon, coming back at you with some more gaming news. Sony announced that they're going to be putting out mini PS1s, and as a result, a lot of Nintendo fanboys are saying that they're copying Nintendo. Well, let me explain something to you guys. Do you remember this thing? Yeah, you remember this little piece of shit, don't you? Yeah, this is the Atari Flashback, which was modeled after the Atari 7800. And it was very successful, and it came out many, many years before either of the Nintendo mini consoles. So, something to think about there. Matter of fact, this was so successful that they put out this. This is the Flashback 2, and the Flashback 2 is super duper accurate. There's essentially a real Atari in this thing. It's so accurate that people were able to modify it by adding a cartridge slot, which there's actually contact points on the board for. So, yeah, there's that as well. Now, back when these guys were coming out, there was another retro brand that decided to put it out a mini console as well. Now, this is more of a handheld unit, but this was put out by Intellivision around that same time as the first Flashback. They were only sold at Walmart's, and they sold over 4 million of these. No kidding. Yeah, so even Intellivision can be very successful in this market, as they have proved. Now, that being said, am I going to get a PS1 Mini? No. And here's why. I have one of these. Matter of fact, I have 3 of these. This one is one that was given to me by a friend, and I never use it. It just sits up on a shelf collecting dust. I haven't even cleaned it up. There's no reason to. I don't use it. It's just for show. I have another one that I put over by my consoles that's not even hooked up, and I have another one that's in some boxes in storage somewhere. But I don't use this because I have this. And what's great about this is not only does the PS2 play PS1 games, you can use a component cable on it. And a component cable is going to give you a much better video signal, especially when you're using Free McBoot. Free McBoot, you can actually adjust it so you can change the resolution. But what's even better about Free McBoot is you can download all the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 ISOs and play them for free on your PS2 through USB. And so, yeah, I know there's legalities with that and everything. And I also know that component, even though essentially gives out the same video as HDMI, a lot of people are going to bitch about the fact that, hey, there's no HDMI output. It's not going to look good on my HD TV. I got something else for you. Remember these? Yeah, it's a PS3. Now, this one is my soft-modded PS3. I don't really use it all that often, but as you do know, PS3 has HDMI output, and it plays PS1 games just fine. So, yeah, why do I need a PS1 Mini again? Oh yeah, that's right, I don't. Because I got my bases covered. I can play PS1 games for free via emulation, or, you know, any of these old Sony consoles that also play them, that can also be soft-modded. So, there you go. That's why I'm not getting one. And the fact of the matter is, it's $100 for 20 games and a little console that is otherwise worthless. Like right now, if you talk to video game resellers or collectors or whatever, they'll tell you that the original PS1 is pretty worthless. And so, paying $100 for a cool little case with a little hard drive built into it and some old games just isn't ideal for me, especially since I don't really care for the original PS1 controllers. Like, I didn't like the D-pad on them. There's too much space in between, and my thumb would kind of jam on it every now and then. I didn't feel that it was very responsive, and I think that when they added the analog sticks, it really changed the controller for the better. Like, it made it way better, as a matter of fact, in my opinion. And so the fact that these controllers for the Mini aren't going to have analog sticks, yeah, that makes me not want. That's just one of the reasons why I don't want it, honestly. And I do feel that they could later on they could release upgraded controllers with the analog sticks, and then you have to pay more money, and I'm just not interested. But yeah, hopefully this will shed some light as to why I'm personally not going to buy a PS1 Mini. Maybe used for super cheap one day, but I'm definitely not going to pay retail for it. And hopefully I will also shed some light as to how Sony isn't necessarily copying Nintendo. I would say it's more like Nintendo copied Atari and Intellivision and everybody else that put out mini consoles long before they did. The only advantage is that Nintendo put out their mini consoles later on when, now everything has HDMI output. Like, even the Atari Flashback 8 Gold has HDMI output on it, but they also released a different unit that just has composite for us people, us purists that like to play retro games on CRT TVs still. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Are you going to get a PS1 Mini? Does it seem like something you're interested in, or do you think that it's just a piece of shit, you don't want it? Or what are your thoughts on Nintendo copying Sony? Do you think they did after watching this video? Thanks for watching.
Oh, whatever, Sinistermoon. You're just salty because Nintendo got all your favorite ROM sites shut down. Anyhow, I'm going to take off, but before I do, can you help me put together my Nintendo Labo?